Hello everyone, welcome back to the NoCast. It was supposed to be a podcast today. Unfortunately, I couldn't gather my friends at this time. I apologize for that. But anyway, I'll just do it myself. So, first time ever we'll have such a big event in Abu Dhabi. It's not the first time it will be in Abu Dhabi, but I think it's the third time. But this time is the biggest one, the most coverage. Khabib will get so much money. I think he's getting around $3 million around that mark to fight Dustin. That's crazy amount of money for such a fight. As you can see, the main event, of course, Khabib versus Dustin. And I just found out Gastelum is talking in an interview with Catelia, Zhang Weili, and Henry Cejudo. And he says that they signed a contract, a 5-year contract, that they go back each year on a yearly basis. They go back in Abu Dhabi and host an event there. So moving on, I would like to just announce the fights of the main card. Of course, there are some great fighters in the preliminary card, the prelims. Unfortunately, I don't know much about those fights, so I'll just talk about this here. Let me just move my camera a bit so I can see the name. So for the lightweight division, we opened the main card with Wrek Taisumov versus Deco Ferreira. Then moving on to the heavyweight bout, Curtis Blades, number 4 on heavyweight. Guy's a mountain of a man, a very good wrestler, a very hard puncher. He will face Shamil Abdurakhimov, who is number 9 currently in the rankings. Not so familiar with this one, unfortunately. Then we're moving on to Islam Makhachev in the lightweight division, number 15, against Davi Ramos. Davi Ramos, I heard he's very good on the ground mostly, but yeah, I'll try to get into it later. Then another one on the lightweight bout, we have Edson Barboza, number 7, versus Paul Felder on number 10. He is in the rankings. This is the second fight between the two of them. Edson Barboza edged the victory in the first fight against Paul Felder. Then we got the main event. Khabib Nurmagomedov is known everywhere. I don't know why he's listed as number 2 there. He's a champion, of course. And Dustin Poirier is number 1. I don't know, there's something wrong with the rankings. UFC posted about them. Dustin Poirier, of course, interim champion. And let's get into some analysis here. Curtis Blades versus Abdurakhimov. Sorry if I pronounce his name. If I say their names, I really apologize. As I said already about Curtis Blades, he's a mountain. Look how just towers over Abdurakhimov. Very good wrestler, power puncher. Had 2 wars against Ngannou. Of course, Ngannou is very difficult to count out. His second fight was not much of a war. And Ngannou's power is just undeniable, but Curtis Blades, tough guy. I think the only 2 losses he has are from Ngannou. So I expect this fight to go for Curtis Blades, maybe knocking out Abdurakhimov, or keep him on the ground, just pound Abdurakhimov. Of course, I don't know much about Abdurakhimov. I could slate his name again, didn't I? Well, nothing to be done about it. I don't know his type of fighting, but knowing Curtis Blades is very dominant, I expect Curtis Blades to pull this one. And he can't really move up in rankings. I don't believe he can, but I expect him to have this fight. If he fights again, probably someone like Junior Dos Santos. I don't see him fighting Ngannou or Miocic. I don't see Cormier fighting, so he have to pick up a fight with Wrek. If he wins, he's about that he'll fight another fighter in a couple of months, in December actually. So next fight we have Barboza vs Felder. This fight will be straight up fire. There's no denying that Barboza has that speed and his striking, both with the feet, legs, and the punches. The man is unreal with the speed. However, in his latest fights, especially after Khabib, he doesn't look like himself. Completely obliterated Hooker, but for me, Dan Hooker is not that type of fighter that I will count as top-notch fighter. He is the average. It's just your average fighter that will just complete your card. I hope I didn't offend him, but that's harsh reality. Then you have Paul Felder on number 10, Barboza number 7, of course. Paul Felder has been showing an improvement, even though he has 4 losses in his career, 1 to Barboza. I expect this to be a boxing type of fight, clinch, kicks, punches, elbows, knees, all the type of bloody fights. I see this fight as probably the fight of the night. If Khabib versus Poirier doesn't get that, I think this is the fight of the night to make, like, I don't see how it cannot be like that. And last but not least, title fight, Khabib versus Poirier. Huge pressure on Poirier on this one. Many people say there's no pressure, but he's in a country that it's dominant by both religion and the roots of Khabib, those Arabic roots that he probably has. Huge pressure, but diamonds are made under pressure, you know, and that's Dustin over there, champion killer, fought and beaten Anthony Pettis. Justin Gaethje, of course, Justin Gaethje was a champion in his previous promotion. He's still a champion. You have to be the best to be a champion at any type of promotion, even the lowest one. Then Eddie Alvarez, beaten. Eddie Alvarez stopped. All those 3 I mentioned, he stopped them. Like, there's no deny that Poirier can stop people. And then he had a total war with Max Holloway, where he got the unanimous decision. And Holloway is the type of guy that just doesn't give up. You can beat that guy all you want, he's not getting knocked out, he's not backing off. Of course, that's the second time he beats Max Holloway. First one on featherweight, second one on lightweight. I expect Poirier in this fight to come in blazing. He's coming in this fight with the lowest ever weight he has been in lightweight division. He said that he's done so he can scramble more with Khabib on the ground, so he can get back up easier, have more stamina during the fight. I believe Poirier's game plan would be keep away from the cage, keep away, try not to leave Khabib having the dominant position like a full guard or a top mount on the ground, or don't give him his back, don't give him your back so easily, and put pressure on Khabib. Keep your game plan. Don't just go in and defend, because defending everything, it's not going to give you a win. If you defend 10 takedowns, for example, and he still gets 2, and you haven't done anything else, you just punch him a couple of times, you ain't winning, you're still gonna lose. So he has to go in and throw his hooks, throw his uppercuts, try to catch him with a knee on his way down. So moving to Khabib, why I said Poirier should keep away from the cage, or a full guard position, in a matter of fact, or a top mount. Khabib is notorious for pushing guys on the cage and then put them down for takedown, put them down for a ground pound, I mean. And then when he puts them down, he tries to go full guard, and then he stands up for stacked guard so he can unleash power with his hands, throwing hooks on that point that's on the ground, which is very dangerous. We've seen that against Barboza and Conor. And Khabib's game plan will pretty much be put the other guy on the ground. Usually Khabib, when he goes to the 3rd, 4th round, he chooses to strike a bit. He's throwing that stiff jab at his opponent, which seems to be effective. Not the best striker Khabib is, he's around the average. And when you throw punches at Khabib, he's throwing and pulling back. So what does that do? He lands, that's damage. When it's your turn to throw, he just push himself back, You miss your shots, you get tired. He has a huge advantage on this one with this strategy. And when you get close enough to him, you're tired, it's easier for him to put you down and just completely beat you. But yeah, I believe Khabib takes this one, but of course Dustin has his chances to win. I've watched Charles Schoen talk about the fight as well. He said, indeed, Dustin has his chances. Khabib out for 9 months, it doesn't mean much. The layout might not really affect them. All the fighters, if keep being active, training every week, stay good with their nutrition, doesn't mean that it will always affect you. Of course, many fighters get affected. Khabib hasn't shown signs of that. He looks very dehydrated and tired in the weigh-ins. That still doesn't mean we should count out Khabib. We should never count out Khabib. You should never count Poirier. Count out Poirier. Poirier looked very good in the weigh-ins. He looked very happy. He looks to have a strong belief in himself. I don't see him being like pessimistic. This guy never lost. That means I don't have the chance to beat him as well. And yeah, that's it pretty much from me. I don't believe I have something else to say about those two great fighters. May the best win. Don't miss it, it's tomorrow. It's so close. And this is the last you'll see from me before the fight. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank my friends for being in all the other podcasts. Unfortunately, I had to do this alone. But anyway, make sure to subscribe, like, share it with your mates, and see you later. So I forgot to mention, like usually I give my prediction after the championship fight, where are those two going, who are they going to face after this one. So the winner of Khabib and Poirier, I feel like they're going to face Tony Ferguson, the winner. And the loser might face Conor, or the loser will wait for Justin Gaethje and Cerrone to take part and they'll face the winner of that one. I feel so, I feel that's the fairest point. However, if Conor comes back, he might as well face the winner of Cerrone and Justin Gaethje, and then the winner of that is facing the champion here. So it's a bit complicated, but all those matchups are great. No matter whoever fights anyone, I'm really satisfied. I really love this business, the fighting business, and yeah.